going on, family and friends? This is Scottyottyotty, and I'm doing the karate yada yada. You know what it is, Hype at the Hill, week number 2. And the topic of this week is definitely going to be supervision is the vision. Supervision is the vision. What is supervision? So listen, I can tell you stories on stories on stories on managers, supervisors, overseers, and it's important. You know, we can go back to stories back in the days where some of the first created human beings had the power to name animals and oversee animals, and you know, that was pretty dope, right? But then you had other stories about, you know, there were famines, and then they had people that had large amounts of food, and they were they had to supervise the amount and the quantities of food that were distributed. And there are other stories about even when there were leaders that were leading hundreds and thousands and millions of people, and they had to learn how to organize and disseminate how much men and women and children were to get, you know, supplies and food. So supervision, managing, and overseeing is so important. So this week I have some nuggets just to share, you know, personal nuggets, and then I do have some notes that I definitely would like to share, right? So let's look. We have train them to lead the job. Train them to lead the job. Train a person to lead the job, right? So when we're leading as supervisors and mentors and mentees, we're training you so we don't have to baby you, right? We're training you so we don't have to baby you. What is baby? You know, I know it sounds so harsh, but it's really saying that I don't have to be so close to you. I don't have to be at hand distance to you all the time. That I can walk away. You know, parents that have teenage children, you want to get to that place where you can sit in the car with them and you can close your eyes and you say that they are at peace, right? Train them to the position to the point that you're able to make sure that they are able to just motivate you. What's the policies and procedures? Policies and procedures are so crucial. Policies and procedures are so important. Policies and procedures are like priority. Policies and procedures are the meat of the meal, right? Meat of the meal, right? So we want to make sure that we're quoting and teaching and preaching and reaching with the policies and procedures so that we can make sure that they are powerful enough to have the power and authority to be a supervisor, to be a manager, to be an overseer, as we're teaching and as we're leading and we're showing them the way, right? All right, so we have compliance, we have clarification, confidence, connections. Where do we want to start at? Where do we want to start? Compliance, just stand in regulations, making sure that the people are staying in regulations, okay? Clarification, that means that if I tell you to do something, then you know how to do it, then I say, can you tell me what I just said? You know, make sure that they have clarity as you're teaching and reaching and preaching and leading. Make sure that they're able to recite and repeat what you said so that you both know that you're on the same page and in the same book. See, sometimes we're on the same page, right? You're on page 9, I'm on page 9, right? That's cool. But then you might be in the Jet magazine and I might be in Webster's dictionary. So make sure that we are on the same page and in the same book when we're leading and teaching and preaching and reaching, right? And definitely the confidence. It's not about being cocky. No, we're not being cocky. We're just confident. When you're a leader and you're supervising and you're overseeing and you're managing, there's a certain level of confidence that you have in your job and in your position. And a lot of that confidence, yes, it comes with experience, but also this confidence can grow when you have the policies and procedures. When you know the job, you can grow the job. When you know the job, you can grow the job. And when you grow this job, you can sow into the job. All right. What else? Connections. It's about teamwork. Teamwork, you heard the saying before, teamwork makes the dream work. So as we build connections, build positive connections. When you're leading and supervising and mentoring and coaching, it's vital to build connections because we need each other. I need you, you need me, we go up, we level up, and guess what? The workload seems to be less or it's not as heavy when you have more hands at the plow. All right. Let's see. I got so many juicy notes, y'all. Let's see. Most people leave because of supervisors. Did you know that a lot of people leave jobs and people leave a lot of situations because of the supervisor? They say, I had a horrible supervisor, or my supervisor didn't even know I existed, or I don't even know my supervisor's name. I don't know, so let's be that supervisor. Let's be that instructor, that mentor, that is the opposite of that statement. I plan on being the opposite of that statement. And as I grow and you grow and we grow together, one day when you become a supervisor, a leader, an overseer, a mentor, a coach, that you'll become the opposite of that statement. That most people leave their jobs, their positions, their schools, their churches, their buildings, their nonprofit organizations because of the supervision, because of the supervisor. We don't want that stigma on us, and we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to know, and we're going to continue to sow. Now that you know that statement, let's sow against that statement. All right. Meet with the team at least once a month. So yeah, we plan on meeting with the team monthly as a mentor, supervisor, coach. You want to meet with your team. You want to build a relationship that you guys can meet and greet. You ladies, you gentlemen, your team, meet and greet, and don't be afraid to meet and greet, because you need to meet. Why? Because it's important so that we know that we're on the same page and in the same book. All right, let's see. Give some shadow time. Right? So what is shadow time to you? Shadow is like when the person, let the person come next to you. Let them come with you. Let them feel, the role. Let them feel what it takes to do your job. Every now and then, people need to know that your job is not easy as a supervisor. Sometimes you may be the first one in and the last one out. Sometimes you may have to do almost every other position, if not every position. Whatever it takes, you build that rapport with your team so that they are confident that you are able to do the job effectively. Not just do the job, but do the job effectively so that you can be an effective coach, and then you can have an effective team. If the leadership is effective, the team is effective. All right. What if the person is not fit for the organization? If you're a supervisor and you're supervising and you know this because of time, experience, know-how, this person may not be fit for the organization. Somehow, some way, some place, you have to build a relationship that you can speak this, and we can talk about this, and we can explain this. So yeah, that's enough for now. We're talking about supervision. Supervision is the vision. I'm your host, doing the most, Mr. Scottyottyotty, and we at H.Y.P.E at the Hill, week 2. I'll see you for week 3.